If you're not familiar with the name, the VARK model, I guarantee you're familiar with the types of learners popularized by pop psychology. Visual, auditory, hands-on. Maybe that's not HR appropriate. Hi, I'm Jordon Taylor with the Corporate Training Companion, and I help new and aspiring trainers learn and apply the fundamentals of corporate training. I encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon because today we are talking about the science of training, specifically the VARK model. Now, the VARK model is really similar to that pop psychology learner types. It has the visual, it has the auditory learners, it has kinesthetic learners, or in other words, hands-on. Man, I really don't know what to do with my hands when I say that. The VARK model does, however, have two major distinctions. The first one is there's another learning preference, reading or writing learners. They prefer to consume in a written format. Pretty self-explanatory in the context of learning preferences, but there's that word again, preferences, which does tee us up perfectly for the second big difference. The VARK model outlines these as learning preferences. It's not saying that you are a type of learner, suggesting that you can't learn in any other way. It's just saying that all things being equal, you prefer to learn in a particular way. It also recognizes the fact that your preferred way of learning may not be the most effective way to learn that particular nugget of knowledge. For instance, teaching you what mozzarella versus Parmesan cheese tastes like would be a lot easier in a kinesthetic approach. You can read about it all you want. I can lecture you about it. You can watch a video about it. But there is no faster way than getting your hands on some cheese and tasting it. However, the VARK model isn't what I really wanted to talk to you about today. I wanted to talk to you about a different set of learning principles, a little less popular, but equally as relevant for corporate trainers. And that's Honey and Mumford's learning styles. No relation to the band, at least that I'm aware of. So let's break down Honey and Mumford's 4 learning styles, talk about why they're important, and how to incorporate them into your trainings. Starting with activists. These folks learn best by doing. They love group work, learning with others, and solving new and challenging problems. They're going to do well in breakout groups, but they're going to struggle with lectures that drone on and on and on. They're also going to struggle with, generally dry content. Though I think that's probably most people, but not our theorist friends. Theorists, unlike activists, love good data-driven presentations. Like activists, they can do discussions, but they do prefer them to be structured, which is how they like their diagrams, models, explanations, and generally everything learning related. Which is a good thing, because without theorists, I fear many trainers would just be flying off the handle on a nearly constant basis. Which brings us to our pragmatists. These people prefer practical application. They want simulations. The more real, the better. They learn well from trial and error and hands-on learning. That's not to say they can't sit back and watch a demonstration, but they prefer not to. They learn best hands-on, right in the mix of activities, which is just fine for our reflectors. These folks love to learn by observing. In group activities, they're likely the quiet one. The quiet one that pipes up right at the end with some sort of knowledge bomb. And everybody's like, whoa, do we need to start over? Because this changes everything. They like self-paced learning, they like e-learning, and even recorded sessions. All of these styles have their strengths and opportunities in the corporate classroom. So whenever possible, it's best to mix up your approach. Break up long lectures with group activities, then get participants working hands-on independently. Offer reflection time. The great thing about corporate training is that spaced repetition is a benefit. So covering the same points multiple times in multiple ways will not only help your learners retain the information, it'll keep the content moving forward in an engaging way. So if you take anything from this, remember, there are multiple models for adult learning styles and preferences. And none of them are meant to categorize people into an end-all be-all learner type. So be thoughtful about what your participants need to walk away knowing or being able to do, and incorporate multiple approaches as often as you can. And if you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, consider hitting that like, subscribe, and bell icon. My name is Jordon Taylor with the Corporate Training Companion. Until next time.